What's up everyone, my name is Dyucrane, and in this video I'm going to be sharing some useful tips. So the first tip that I want to show you is if you are just tab targeting, and that's all you're doing, stop right now. What I want you to do is go to character configuration, control settings, mouse, and by default this is zoom camera in, zoom camera out, and everything else is unassigned. I want you to change, scroll up and down to cycle enemies. So you can do this. You can cycle which enemies you want to attack. And this is useful for a couple of reasons. And I'll show you a couple examples. The most notable example is in Palace of the Dead. When you're fighting multiple enemies and you want to, kill them as fast as possible, you don't want to overkill some monsters. You don't want to waste your attack on something that's already going to die. So for example, let's say you're attacking multiple enemies. I'm just gonna pull like maybe 3 or 4 at the start here. You're gonna auto attack, switch to the second monster, weapon skill, auto attack this guy again, auto attack, and they're both dead. You didn't have to waste any spells, right? So again, auto attack this guy, weapon skill that guy, keep auto attacking this guy, weapon skill. So you want to switch between auto attacks and weapon skills. It matters in low level stuff, like ARR fates that you have to do maybe, and ARR books. So let's say you're doing a low level dungeon, unsynced. It could be for Wondrous Tales, ARR books, whatever. Let's just say you're like speedrunning Sastasha or something. Now you could just pull wall to wall, but Peloton only works out of combat. So you auto attack the first guy and weapon skill the second guy, and then you can Peloton again. Now sprint is an extra 10 seconds out of combat. You kind of want to kill monsters if your sprint is off cooldown. Now from here, because sprint is on cooldown, you don't have to worry about killing every single monster you run past. And it also works for low level overworld monsters as well. Like let's say you're trying to kill antelope stags just for their horn or meat or whatever. So you auto attack the first one, weapon skill the second one, and you already killed both of them. What people normally do is just weapon skill the first one and weapon skill the second one. You have to wait for the cooldown. It doesn't save that much time, but it does save time still, right? So another example, these water sprites and the red wheel. There's 5 enemies here. Let's see how fast I can kill them. Scroll wheel targeting. So auto attack this guy, weapon skill, auto attack, weapon skill, auto attack. So that's the first tip. The second tip that I wanted to share with you is scroll up shift, or you can change it to anything here, but scroll up through enemy list and scroll down through enemy list. If you have those two binded, good for you. But let's say you're in a dungeon and the tank hasn't finished pulling wall to wall yet. Before the tank finishes pulling wall to wall, you want to dot all of your monsters. So I'm gonna go ahead and aggro every dummy here, and before the tank finishes pulling wall to wall, you can check, oh, is this guy dotted? Does this guy have a dot on him? No? Okay, let me apply a dot. This guy, no, let me apply a dot, and this guy, no, let me apply a dot. Now if they're all dotted, then you're done. You wait for the tank to finish pulling and then you spam your AoE spells. That's to do the most damage as possible. If you scroll through the enemy list, you can easily tell like which one you have not dotted or have already dotted. The third tip I want to share with you is that you have to make sure to bind your confirm button and your display subcommands button. Now there are a lot of useful things that you can do with this confirm button, and I'll share with you what those useful things are. So the first thing is gathering. Let's say you want to gather an unspoiled node. So when you're gathering, unspoiled nodes don't have the auto gather option. So if you don't want to click on this like every time, best thing to do is have the confirm button. And if you have a third-party program to spam this key over and over, whatever you have set as your confirm key, then you don't even have to, touch the keyboard, right? You can just let it gather for you until it's done gathering, of course. Another thing useful for the confirm button is rolling on loot. So let's say there's nothing you need here, but you want to see what other people get, or like there's an orchestrion roll here. you can confirm pass, and look how easily it is to pass on all these gear instead of like clicking one by one. Bam, pass, 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 pass. Like this takes way too long. Another thing useful for the confirm button is leaving a duty like as fast as possible. Like let's say you joined a PF and you like really dislike it. You know, you keep wiping and wiping to the same mechanics over and over and you're tired of it. You just want to get out. When the screen turns black and is about to fade into color,
from my memories.
you can leave by opening a duty finder and just, right, I'll show you again but slowly. So you open the duty finder with your hotkey. If you don't have it set to a hotkey, then you can't do this, but open it, confirm, confirm again, left, confirm. Now this is also useful for farming fates. This is another useful tip. So let's say you're farming fates and you want your cooldowns available for the next wave. As you know, many fates in A Realm Reborn can be one-shotted with Rem's Voice and Ultra Vibe. A lot of bosses are vulnerable to freeze and Ultra Vibe. So let's say you're doing a fate on Blue Mage, or you're doing anything in the overworld. I'm gonna use all my cooldowns, right? Shiva, this, Serpanaka, and Ifrit. Let's say all your abilities are on cooldown, but the next thing you want to fight is already up. So what you want to do is just queue into a random instance, it doesn't matter which one, and all your cooldowns will be reset. Now if you have long loading times, this might be a problem. So you just leave immediately and all your cooldowns are back. And you can go on to the next fate. So that's the tip. Reset your cooldowns with instant duties whenever you can. So right here, next fate, I can just Rem's Voice Ultra Vibe. And then the next fate should be up. These two fates always spawn like back to back every time. Rem's Voice and Ultra Vibe are on cooldown, so you just want to queue into a random duty to reset Ultra Vibe and do it all over again. Of course, you gotta wait for this guy to kill that guy, because he killed all of his brethren. And there you go. Now, leaving a duty fast is helpful for many reasons, right? The reason that I mentioned, you know, leaving a bad group, but you can also speed things up when you're like tank mount farming with Delta V3, or even relic light farming, which in my previous video I said Thorn March Extreme was the way to go for AR or relic weapons. So after you kill Thorn March, just leave as quick as you can. The reason why I told you to bind display subcommands is for things like training dummies and Eureka. So when you're fighting training dummies, there's no way to pull up the sub menu by right clicking, right? You can't right click. Oh, okay. Well, you can't right click on the field, but you can right click here and reset. But you can also pull up the sub commands by pressing the button. I didn't know that existed. Oh well, if you use this method, that's fine. But I'd rather just, you know, push the button and have the menu show up here instead of like going up there and then choosing from this menu, even though it's the same thing. And the confirm button is also useful for putting things inside of your retainer. So let's say you have a bunch of stuff that you want inside your retainer. Like let's say I want to put, you know, 15 items in. You just confirm and then move the cursor with the arrow keys. Right? Unfortunately, you can't do the same thing reverse. You have to do it like this. But that's also a quick way to do things. And the confirm button also helps you speed up material extraction and repair. So let's say if I have any gear that is at 100% spirit bond. Okay, so I went ahead and spirit bonded some gear. But let's say I forgot, you know, like forgot to extract. And you just went into an instance, and let's say it's at the end of the day, you want to check if there's any gear that you can extract material from. You just click this button on material extraction, which is located in action and traits general. Material extraction right here. You just drag this to a hotbar somewhere, and also repair is useful. So you want to drag that somewhere. So here, this is gonna be the first menu that's popped up is equipped, which is the current job that you're playing. And you want to use the confirm button to go down this list one by one. And look, there's something that can be extracted. Go ahead and extract. Go to the next item. Go to the next item. And boom, I'm done extracting. Same thing can be done for repairing. So you use the confirm button. Repair all here. Repair all, wait for it to finish. Repair all. Wait for it to finish. Repair all. Wait for it to finish. And boom, I'm done. I'm done repairing and I'm done material extraction in less than a minute. And that's all the tips that I wanted to share. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and give this a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.